Hey, it's Ty Screams, and I'm about to give you a recap of what happened on season 46, episode 6 of Survivor. And no, I'm not a grandpa. Sika is getting back from tribal council where they blindsided Jem, and Mariah is feeling on the outs because she was left out of the vote. The tribe is trying to comfort her after lying to her, but she still feels in trouble, especially after voting Ben. We then get to see all three tribes get some sea mail, and it's time for them to drop their buffs because they will all be moving to the Nami beach. This sparks a scene where Hunter needs to find his immunity idol before the other tribes show up. He runs to get a clue, digs near the steps at camp while Venus and Sorta are bickering, and finds a key. He then sprints back to the box and finds an immunity idol, and nobody knows about it. The tribes arrive at the Nami beach, and both Yanu and Nami see the new Siga tribe with Jem being voted out. They all greet each other, but get ready for a whirlwind of strategy talks. It becomes very clear that Tim and Siga want to appear Siga strong. Venus then tries to make the rounds by talking to Q, and Venus wants to work with Yanu. Then Q, Tiffany, and Tevin are talking, and Tevin is warning Yanu about Venus. Then Q talks with Maria and finds out that Tim never mentioned the Journey Alliance to her. Venus is trying to break into the cracks of Siga, but is not successful. Tim and Maria finally talk about the +1 alliance. Q notices Siga isn't really talking strategy and is just going off vibes. So Q talks with Mo, trying to work with her, where she states that the Jem vote was unanimous. Spoiler, it wasn't. Then she mentioned her favorite player is Aubrey, which then Q tells Hunter Mo is dangerous because she's nerdy. Anyway, now to the immunity/reward challenge where Jeff splits everybody into two groups based off a random rock draw. Because there's an odd number of castaways, Tiffany draws a gray rock and is sitting out because to decide which group she'll be aligning herself with. The winning group will get a merge feast and fully safe at the Mergatory Tribal. After the draw, it's clear that there's a very unfortunate split and the very physically larger players are all on one team and the smaller players on another. Tiffany chooses the purple tribe and they start the challenge. The tribes will make their way through a muddy net, use a cart to collect sandbags to build a pile in order to climb on top of a tower and get some keys, roll down a cargo net, climb a giant boulder, and then do a giant circle puzzle. Orange takes the lead through the muddy net, but Purple is able to overtake them during the cart portion. Purple is the first to the puzzle, but Orange is able to catch up and the race becomes close. But Purple is able to pull out the win, meaning only 6 people are available to go home tonight. At the merge feast, since all of Yanu is present, it's clear that the vote will either be a Siga or a Nami member, with Yanu being the swing votes. Nami gives up Venus's name, whereas Siga doesn't really give up anybody's name until somebody mentions Mo. Then it becomes very Venus versus Mo, and Tiffany calls out their reluctancy to give up a name, and shows that they're just trying to stay Siga strong. So Tiffany's wanting to vote Mo. Back at camp, Charlie is seen talking and is very nervous. Hunter is also talking about how Siga is wanting to say Siga strong, but Nami is not Nami strong. Q approaches Venus to say that her name is being thrown around and she gets pissed. She then starts trying to go around to put Charlie's name out there, seeing him as the bigger threat, which she's totally right. Q then hears about this and gets mad at her, saying that he risked his game by telling her. Heading to the tribal, we have the realization that several people are safe. During deliberation, Mo knows that she's on the bottom, breaks away from the Siga tribe, and tries to come clean about being on the opposite side of the last tribal vote. Q calls her on it and says that he could have worked with her if she would have just said that earlier. Now to the vote. Mo plays her shot in the dark and she isn't safe. There's 1 vote for Venus from Charlie, and then there are 6 votes from Mariah, which is enough, and Mariah's torch is snuffed. Jeff then gives everybody their new red buffs, and they leave tribal council. In the preview for the next episode, Jeff announces that 2 people will be voted out. So I'm geared up for a wild episode and probably another, or maybe 2, blindsides. Until next episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and tune in next week for another recap of Survivor.